The video for January 26, 2017 is titled The Insanity of Illusion and Neutrality. Before going to bed last night, I watched another Joel Goldsmith video recommended by a good friend. Once again, I listened to the idea that physical life is illusion. There is no good or evil. This doctrine has been around for a long time. As others have done, he suggests that high spirituality involves reaching a place of neutrality, of non-judgment. If that were true, as I see it, suicide is the only logical response, since nothing will ever change. We will stay caught in the vicious cycle of endless reincarnation and will never be able to live in heaven in a physical form. No heaven on earth. Physical creation must, therefore, be a death sentence. As I've said before, if that is reality, I do not want to be here or anywhere. I want to be erased, eliminated, with no more consciousness. To me, it would mean, as I sadly contemplated off and on, that life is, as Shakespeare wrote, a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. We do, in fact, as I see it, wrestle not against flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness in high places. I still choose life. Indeed, I've listened to Joel Goldsmith, and some of the things that he has said I resonate with, and some I don't. And that's true of any spiritual teacher, and I could go back and listen to my own videos and find it's also true of myself. You know, some things that I've said I agree with, and some things I've said I've moved on from that point and looked at it with a different perspective, from a different point of view, and I've come to a different conclusion. And yet, one of the things that I've never let go of is that I'm on this earth to help usher in the kingdom of heaven on earth. I've had that vision, as I've said in many videos, since I was a little boy. And I've held it throughout my life. For all of these many years, I've held on to that vision that that's my purpose in life. And it's not a neutral thing. I look at the earth, and yes, people say it's an illusion. By that, they mean that when we look at the atom is mostly empty space. And we're composed of atoms and cells, and it's mostly empty space, so therefore it's an illusion, it's not real. I'm sorry, it is real. I have solidity. Even if scientifically they've come up with this probable truth that it's mostly empty space, it's still solid to my experience. And my experience is not an illusion. It's something that I'm actually going through and living right now in three-dimensional reality. And I do believe that other dimensions are impinging on me and others, and actually all of us. But still, we're living in a solid reality, a physical form. And if everything is an illusion, and if we're supposed to be neutral and not take sides against all the obvious evil that's going on the planet, and that's what, you know, I came out of that spiritual teaching. I mean, I was in my initial teaching, of course, was Assembly of God and fundamentalist Christianity, evangelical Christianity, and there were things that I liked about that, but one of the things is they always thought that they were the only ones that were right. And I rejected that from the time I was a teenager. I began to explore and say, well, no, we don't have it all together either. And as I studied more and more, I realized nobody has it, and I'm sorry about that. I don't know. Anyway, somebody tried to call me. I had the ringer off, but I didn't turn the answering machine off. Anyway, I lost my train of thought now. But I reached a point where I got really much into the New Thought movement, and they were the ones that began espousing this neutrality thing, and everything is an illusion. They were pushing that, which stops, as I see it, it stops the evolutionary process or slows it down greatly, because they're saying, we don't want to play a role in this. We're going to be neutral. We're going to stand back. There is no neutrality. Neutrality, if you try to be neutral, you're siding with whatever force is in control. You're not resisting anything. You're allowing everything. And to allow everything means nothing ever gets done, which is why I said it, as I said in the blurb, that if that were the reality, I would rather die. And not just die, but be blotted out as if I never existed. I'd like to be erased. Because life, to me, has purpose. It has meaning. And the purpose is for good to overcome evil, for truth to overcome falsehood, for the liberation of the soul and the liberation of creation, to a standard where love is dominant and where we get along with each other, we listen to each other, but we're not all the same. It's not about sameness. It's not about eradicating differences. It's about learning how to listen, learning how to love, learning how to recognize that we all, based on our experience, have different points of view, because we've all experienced so much variety of life experience. And this flavors and colors our point of view. Colors are reality to us. So it's not that other people are wrong, it's they have a different point of view. And as I said, I was part of this new thought structure for a long time, but I've never been able to completely go along for very long with the idea that it's just an illusion and that we're supposed to be neutral. That just, it can't resonate inside of me. I mean, I don't know how you folks feel. I'd like to have a nice discussion here, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I do see that good things are, it looks like anyway, that good things are happening with the election of Trump. As I've said, I'm not a Trump supporter, but I'm interested that he does seem to be outside the box. And that's a good thing. I mean, I've been outside the box my whole life. He's obviously played in the box, or he wouldn't be as wealthy as he has become. But in any case, I'm trying my best to get people to think and to feel and to be able to communicate, not shut down communication, but open up communication. Now, I don't want to argue with people. We can discuss differences in a way that does not offend, and you don't try to say, well, you're stupid if you don't see it my way. That's part of the insanity that we have approached things from, and I say we, I mean humanity. It's my way or the highway, and that, just can't be. I have reached out in my life to people that were of other religions and other faiths, and as I've said in other videos, I've looked for the common ground, not harping on the areas where we're different, but building on the areas where we agree. And I think that's wisdom. I think that's love. I think that's what any sane being would do. It's not trying to dominate, it's trying to come to an understanding. And I don't mean that standing under something. I mean comprehending where the other person's coming from and being able to accept a different point of view as that, just simply a different point of view. So anyway, these are the thoughts and the feelings that I'm expressing that go along with where I was. I mean, I couldn't sleep last night. I actually got up and wrote that blurb, God, not even midnight yet. And I had only been asleep for a very short time because I was wrestling with this whole Joel Goldsmith video. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, and I'm not intending to offend or belittle anybody's point of view. I'm just asking for understanding. Namaste.